Okay, we are live, and you might want to have a Loom recording going at the same time, Alejandra, in my other tab. Okay, guys, welcome to the lead cure process and campaign flow. So we have two different sets of types of training happening here. We are going to do a drawing of the process to show you, like, in the simplest terms, and then we're also going to put you inside the dashboard and show you how this process works. That way it's not so confusing. So the lead cure campaign process is super simple. It starts with an ad to a funnel. That landing page is going to have that's where the actual lead comes in, to a scheduling page. We're going to pretend this is a clock and that I'm an excellent artist, where they're booking actually on your calendar, to then your office. And that's actually where the exchange happens. This is just where we get their information over here. And so to be able to walk them through those steps, we are nurturing everyone for you, and we have it in a pipeline for you as well. So we have the system here, and I'm actually going to walk through what that looks like as well. And this is a completely full pipeline, and I'm actually gonna put this inside of a demo account just to go ahead and protect information here. So let me load this differently. While that's loading, we're gonna go ahead and pull this up. So boom, ideal Cairo, opportunities, nurture cure. Okay, so we are nurturing the lead. What does that mean? Well, once they opt in the funnel, we make sure to give them all the tags and sequences that they need. And our team is actually the one communicating with them on top of a number of automations. Our entire goal is pushing them to a call. Everything we're doing there is pushing into a call, and we might nurture them for up to 6 weeks. And until that happens, they are going to be an opportunity here in the new lead section. So we'll add Tristan here. We'll have Tristan at test.com, and he's going to be in the new lead section. And he's going to sit there for a few minutes, because we want to see if in the first 8 minutes, if they go ahead and book for us. Because the thank you page on the funnel is the booking page, but that doesn't mean that they're going to book then. They may not be ready. They may not have their calendar ready. And we take that responsibility of getting them to the next step. So they're going to sit here for 8 minutes as the new lead. If they do not book, then they're going to automatically get moved to a call not booked sequence, meaning they basically passed up on the opportunity of booking, and now we've got to push them to the booking over and over and over and over again. Sorry guys, new iPad. So we're going to keep pushing them to the booking over and over and over again. Now we're going to take about 6 weeks to do this, and if they if they don't make it there, then we are going to drop them off. So they will go cold. When they're moved to cold, their pipeline status, let's say they stayed a new lead forever, it is going to get moved to abandoned. And you still have this lead's information. So to see the abandoned pipeline here, you would just go to open, abandon, and it'll take a second to refresh and put everything in here, but they will automatically display inside the abandoned tab. And that way we know if we want to run a reactivation campaign to all the people who went cold, who we abandoned, we can have a sequence for them based off their status and send them a big email and text in a few months. Okay, so it's just taking a moment to load. We'll get that done here in a second. Okay, so let's go back to call booked. Call not booked. We will spend a few weeks nurturing them in this process too. We want to try to push them as fast as and as hard as we can to the call booking by sharing limited availability, by showing how many spots are left, sending them testimonials. There's an entire nurture sequence for that we do. And if they ask questions, then we have templated response that we work on with you to update and to set up. And so everything we're doing is to push that. Let's imagine they did take the next step. They went ahead and booked. Well, now there needs to be a sequence that goes to them too. So they're gonna automatically move in the pipeline. You don't have to do this. There's actually a trigger that triggers when they book. There's a trigger that will automatically move them for you, and it is also going to add tags. It is also going to send them a follow-up sequence, and there's even something we have in here called the ready text, which makes sure 5 minutes before the phone call or so that they are ready to answer the phone call so you don't end up with no-shows. Okay. Then they're going to go to a phone call. And for a phone call, I always draw a small little macaroni noodle because it looks like a phone. And on that call, you will be marking if they showed or no-showed. Now this is just to the pipeline. I'm going to share with you these exact same steps and the other nuances inside our tool so you can see them. But once they book, they're getting a sequence, and then in the appointments section, there would be an appointment here. We're going to do a fake appointment, client calendar, Friday at 2. We're going to do Tristan test again. Tristan test. And we're going to press save. So there's going to be an appointment in here inside of your calendar, your list of upcoming people by date and by time. They're confirmed because they're there, and you're going to be able to mark them as showed or no show. Let me go back and do that again. Showed or no showed. And I can just go back and do that again. Okay? So right now we're going to keep it as confirmed. But in the opportunity section, when you mark them as show or no show, guess what? That sequence is going to automatically update, and it's going to take them where they need to go. No show or show. So in the sequence here, if they are a no show, they are also going to get tagged. They're going to get a sequence. And we are going to try to, guess what? Push them back and reschedule. Everything is about getting to this phone calendar. That is where the money is. Why? Because when they show up to a phone call, the best use of your time is figuring out what their problem is and if you can solve it, and then getting them on the actual books to come into the office, or getting them out of your system in a lead system so you aren't wasting your time with disqualified appointments in your office. But let's say they did show. They are also going to get a tag and a sequence. So we're super segmented here on the data because then we know who we want to reactivate. Now, just because they showed on the phone and you worked with them does not necessarily mean they are going to be this perfectly qualified customer. They still have to come into your office, go through whatever your visit is. And if you're selling a digital product or a coaching program, they still have to speak, go through the program and or the first steps of the program, or go through the offer to decide if they're going to upgrade. It doesn't matter if you're a local office or a personal brand. The process is the same. This is the same process we use for us as an agency. And so the next steps here are checked in and care plan. Checked in is this little status. You could say it is this status here. They came in. Because the first appointment or the first purchase, we are always making a charge. There's a bundle offer of some sort, and it's on that they're going to put their down payment, which is maybe their $150 or whatever that first appointment is. And of course, they're going to get a tag. And now they're in your system. For chiropractors, it's typically an EHR. But for other clients, it's an internal CRM, because they are now in your process as a person who's come to your office. And so when that happens, when they're moved to check in, all that we ask that you do is click and open that opportunity and enter that lead value. Now we can set up an automation for you, where when someone checks in, we can automatically update that value to $150 or to whatever that first visit is. We can automatically do that, but we currently don't do that because we want to track people coming into the office and get the exact numbers from you guys, so we know who converts to a care plan and who doesn't. And so when you put the 150, we know who's in the pipeline, and even cooler, if you were to go to your dashboard, you actually have a value associated with them. We do not associate a value with leads. We only associate a value with opportunities. And now it's up to you to take them through the process. And so if you've been following us or the team, you know that the day 2 is dead. You should not be doing a day 1, day 2. The phone consult and the first visit should be so perfectly packaged that they are ready to buy a plan. But that doesn't always happen that day, right? Sometimes there is still a day 2, and you need to present a contract or a care plan, a case. And for us, this is like a program or a package, right? And so when you present that package, they're either going to stay at checked in or they're going to move to the care plan. If they do move to a care plan, all we ask is that you drag it to care plan lifetime value, click the opportunity, and enter the value of that contract plus the down payment. So if they bought a $2,000 program, I'm going to have $2,150. I'm going to update. And now we know in your processes, we know how much LTV we've generated for you. And so you're able to add their LTV or that agreed value. We work with you on that before we set up the contract. And then we are able to actually track your revenue. But more importantly, we're able to get your show rates. And so this is where the data gets really fun and gets really important. On the funnel, we want to see at least 20% of the people who visit that page opt in. So what does that mean? 100 clicks equals 20 emails. That's what we want to see. At least, okay? And then on the booking rate, we want to see at least 65% of the people book the phone call, meaning your offer is so good, the follow-up is so good, that we can get at least 60% to the phone. Why? Because the phone is free and there's no risk. The number one indicator for success in our program is availability on the phone. You have to have someone there to man the phone, right? So we want to get 60% of that. What does that mean? For 100 leads, we have 60 book calls. Now, some people are below this, and it's okay, but that's just kind of the standard that we want. Now, the show rate. We know a percentage of people are going to be disqualified. They are not going to be a good fit for you in your office. we also know that people are going to no-show, right? Typically, we see about a 10 to 20% no-show, but because it's a phone call, we see, another 10% in rescheduling. Some people, they get stuck in that rescheduling loop. It happens with us as an agency too. But we see another 60 to 70% actually show up to that phone call. So 100, where we got another 60. And so if we're just doing all of our math here, I'll pull up a calculator. We pulled it out of 100, but we can actually drop our numbers down. So if we have 20 emails times 0.6, so there's 12 of the people there. 12, let me add the numbers. 12 people book. We have another 12 times, let's do 60. We have 7.2 calls actually show that are qualified, that we're good to go. And on this call, they're booking their appointment. They're actually usually paying $50 as a deposit right then and there to secure their appointment. And because we recommend that, we have a 90% show rate to the office to where they can pay that down payment. So 7.2 times 90% is pretty obvious. We could just take that down to 7, but not everybody's going to be qualified, right? We have some disqualified people. So let's say we have 5 people show up to the office, just 5 out of 100 leads. Well, what's going to happen? 5 of those people, all 5 are going to pay the down payment. If that's $150, all 5, your cash collected up front is going to be $750. If you only close care plan values at $2,000 and you only close 20% of the people you work with, that's 1 in 5. If you close 80%, that's what most people say that they close. It's often a myth. 4 out of 5 is 80%. And so then your actual LTV value is going to be from 2,000 all the way up to 8,000. And that's the campaign cure machine. That's how it works, right? We're just cutting numbers down as we go. In the process here, in the system though, by segmenting this properly, if you follow the map that I just gave you in the beginning, then automatically your dashboard is going to be perfectly accurate with how many calls you have open, showed, closed, etc. Additionally, you're going to be able to go to your contacts and you're going to be able to sort by tags and know exactly how many people you have with a specific tag. Lastly, with your scheduling and appointments, we can actually go to appointment reporting. And if you have segmented all of your data properly, you are going to see live, booked, confirmed, showed, no-showed, canceled appointments. And one of my favorite parts is actually agent reporting. We can assign you and your team or our team responsibility over the leads, and we are able to see who is open, one closed. So if you're in a multi-doc environment, we can actually see you versus another doc and how you're performing based on your SMSs, your conversions, your calls. We just have to integrate it all. And so from top to finish, to be able to have the number of leads or inquiries, that number will be displayed here on top of the tags. People who didn't book, people who did, people who showed, people who didn't, and the pipeline values, contract values, all of that is going to be in one simple place, and that would be the first step in the training. Real quick, I am streaming this live, but Alejandra, did we cover everything?
Yeah, I think that was very in-depth. That was perfect.
Perfect. Okay, guys, that's the campaign cure and the campaign process. The automations do all of the work for you. We just set them up properly. As long as you're doing your part in the pipeline, you will not have any questions on reporting and data. Let me know if there are questions. We will make sure we answer them in 1-minute trainings to follow this video. We will put the title as the question and we'll answer it below. Thanks. I am late to my call with Chris Colgan.